Katie Holmes and Jason Bard Yarmosky have now made their clearest public appearance together since reports of a new romance began earlier this month. On July 24th, the actress and the New York artist attended a Ferragamo gathering at Topping Rose House in Bridgehampton, where they stood together for photographs and appeared relaxed with Holmes' arm around Yarmoski. It was a noticeable change from the candid date night sightings that first connected their names. But does this mean Holmes has officially confirmed a new relationship, or are the photographs still speaking louder than either person has chosen to publicly say? For verified entertainment updates without the rumors, subscribe to Startline Entertainment. The newest confirmed development is the July 24th Ferragamo event in the Hamptons. Holmes and Yarmoski did not simply arrive at the same location or appear somewhere in the background of separate photographs. They posed beside one another for the event photographers, coordinated in dark blue outfits, and interacted openly throughout the evening. InStyle described it as their first public appearance together, while People reported that Holmes smiled with her arm around Yarmoski as they faced the cameras. Holmes also made one brief public comment connected to the appearance. When asked about their coordinated clothing, she said, "I think we just have similar taste." That was not a declaration about their private relationship, but it showed that she was willing to acknowledge them as a pair in the moment, rather than avoid questions about appearing together. Reports from the event also described Holmes and Yarmoski whispering and laughing during the gathering. That distinction matters because neither Holmes nor Yarmoski appears to have released a formal statement announcing that they are dating. Entertainment outlets have increasingly described Yarmoski as Holmes' boyfriend, and the photographs show repeated affectionate behavior. But those descriptions should not be confused with a direct relationship announcement from either person. Based on the public information available, the most accurate conclusion is that they have been spending significant time together and are now comfortable being photographed as a pair. The public timeline began 2 weeks earlier, on July 10th. Holmes and Yarmoski arrived holding hands at an East Hampton screening of Olivia Wilde's film The Invite. They entered the event together, sat beside one another during the movie, and later attended the after-party. An eyewitness described them as comfortable and affectionate, saying Holmes appeared happy as Yarmoski spoke quietly to her, and that she rested her head on his shoulder during part of the screening. At that stage, the strongest public evidence was the hand-holding and the eyewitness description. They had not yet posed together in the deliberate way they would at the Ferragamo gathering. Harper's Bazaar therefore used more cautious language in its initial coverage, noting that it remained unclear whether they were officially dating or how long they had known each other. That uncertainty was reasonable because one affectionate public outing does not reveal every detail of a private relationship. 4 days later, on July 14th, they were seen together again following dinner in Manhattan. Photographs showed the pair walking closely and embracing. A source speaking to People described them as smiling, affectionate, and very happy around one another. Reports later claimed that they had first connected at a dinner and arranged a date soon afterward, although neither Holmes nor Yarmoski has personally confirmed the exact story of how they met. The timeline accelerated on July 21st. Holmes and Yarmoski attended the Soho Sessions concert series in New York City, where singer Sienna Spiro performed at an event benefiting North Shore Animal League America. This was more than another photograph of them leaving a restaurant. They were observed holding hands, embracing and kissing while watching the show, and they left the event together afterward. That concert appearance removed much of the ambiguity surrounding whether their connection was purely social or professional. Public affection still does not provide access to the couple's private conversations, future plans, or preferred label, but it gave news organizations a stronger basis for characterizing the connection as romantic. It also created a clear progression: hand-holding at a film screening, an affectionate dinner, kissing at a concert, and then posing together at a branded Hamptons event. On July 22nd, they were photographed shopping together in Midtown Manhattan. The outing was less formal than the film screening or concert, but it added another public appearance to a rapidly developing 2-week timeline. Yarmoski was seen carrying one of Holmes' bags while they walked through the city. The next evening brought the more polished Ferragamo appearance, turning what had largely been a collection of candid street and event photographs into a posed public moment. The speed of those appearances explains why the story has attracted attention. In approximately 2 weeks, Holmes and Yarmoski went from being photographed holding hands at one Hamptons screening to appearing together repeatedly across New York City and Bridgehampton. That does not necessarily mean their private relationship progressed at the same speed. It means the public record expanded quickly, creating the impression of a romance becoming steadily more visible. That is an inference from the documented timeline, not a claim about decisions made behind closed doors. So who is Jason Bard Yarmosky, the person now appearing beside one of Hollywood's most recognizable actresses? According to his official biography, Yarmoski was born in New York in 1987 and is known primarily for paintings and drawings exploring aging, time, and memory. His interest in those subjects developed partly through his close relationship with his grandparents, who became the subjects of his artwork for more than a decade. His paintings combine traditional techniques with contemporary images, costumes, and stage settings. Yarmoski graduated from the School of Visual Arts in 2010. His work has been exhibited internationally and at institutions including the Brooklyn Museum, Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art, the San Antonio Museum of Art, and Guildhall in East Hampton. His official biography also lists solo exhibitions at locations including Bergdorf Goodman's Fifth Avenue Windows and the Huntington Museum of Art. That background is relevant because public reporting suggests creativity was part of what connected them. A source told People that Holmes found Yarmoski interesting and has historically enjoyed spending time with people who are passionate about creative work. That remains a source's account rather than a direct explanation from Holmes, so it should be presented as reported context rather than confirmed insight into her private feelings. There may also be a professional world connection in the timing. Yarmoski participated in the 2026 Tribeca Festival Artist Awards program, while Holmes' film Happy Hours premiered during the festival. Harper's Bazaar reported that a Tribeca artist dinner may have been where they first connected. However, the outlet itself framed that meeting point as a possibility, not an established fact confirmed by both people. This is where responsible relationship coverage needs a clear boundary. The photographs establish that Holmes and Yarmoski have appeared together repeatedly, held hands, kissed, embraced, and posed as a pair. Reports from named outlets establish that sources consider the relationship romantic. What the public record does not establish is whether they have chosen a specific label, whether they are making long-term plans, or what either person has privately told friends or relatives. The Ferragamo event matters because public figures usually understand the difference between being photographed candidly and deliberately standing together for professional event photographers. Holmes and Yarmoski's decision to pose together can reasonably be read as a sign that they are not attempting to hide their connection. It should not, however, be turned into a more dramatic milestone such as an engagement, permanent commitment, or official announcement. No evidence supporting those claims has been made public. It is also worth noting that Holmes' only reported comment at the event focused on fashion. Her remark about their similar taste acknowledged their coordinated appearance, but stopped short of discussing romance. That may simply reflect a desire to keep the details private while still attending events together. It may also mean nothing beyond the immediate fashion question. Without a direct statement, assigning a larger hidden meaning would be speculation. The start line takeaway is that something did change on July 24th, but it was a change in public presentation rather than a formal announcement. Earlier appearances were documented through candid photographs and eyewitness accounts. The Ferragamo gathering gave Holmes and Yarmoski the opportunity to pose together knowingly, and they chose to do so. That makes the relationship reports more visible and more difficult to describe as a single isolated sighting. Viewers should not assume that every description used in entertainment headlines came directly from Holmes. Terms such as boyfriend, new couple, and romance are characterizations used by the reporting outlets based on the photographs and source accounts. The observable facts are strong: repeated outings, hand-holding, a kiss, embraces, and a posed appearance. The private label remains theirs to define. As of the latest information checked on July 25th, no newer direct statement from either Holmes or Yarmoski had been publicly reported after the Ferragamo event. There was also no announcement concerning an engagement, marriage, or another formal milestone. The current status is therefore straightforward. They are continuing to appear together publicly, their behavior has been openly affectionate, and their latest event photographs represent their clearest posed appearance so far. What remains to be seen is whether Holmes will eventually discuss the relationship directly or continue allowing the public appearances to tell the story. For now, the July 24th photographs answer one question while leaving another open. Katie Holmes and Jason Bard Yarmosky are no longer avoiding being seen together, but they have not yet explained in their own words exactly what this developing chapter means.